Hey everyone, it's Chris. Welcome back to the Little Shop of Hoarders and the PDX Picker channel. Today's video, I'm going to be going against the grain of a lot of people that I'm seeing comment on my videos. These are other resellers that, in my opinion, they are not thinking the same way as most customers do. But they really seem to want to tell other people how they're doing it the right way, and people like me are not doing it the right way. So I want to talk about that because their opinion is one thing, my opinion is another, but I have some evidence that's going to side with me. So stick around after the intro song. We'll get to pulling some orders that have sold for me on eBay and talking about that topic.
Wanna buy that Farrah Fawcett poster? Pez dispensers and a toaster. Don't know why. That kind of stuff you throw away. I'll sell on eBay.
Well, I normally wouldn't be doing another order poll, but today is Wednesday. Thursday, we have a ton of freezing rain and snow that's scheduled or forecasted to come in, I should say. And I don't really want to have to worry about trying to get my packages down to the post office, even though I could just walk there. But nonetheless, I am going to pull some orders that have sold for me. I hit the trifecta. I have orders that have sold for me on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. So, yay! I love when that happens. Another Mercari order. So, that's now the second one I've had this year in 2025. So things are looking up, I guess, a little bit. Let's pull 2 Poshmark orders, 1 Mercari order, and then we're going to get into the topic. Because I think it's more I'm just getting this off my chest, but it's a very interesting topic, I think. Before we get started on that, I want to thank my member, HarleyGal143. Thank you so much. You are still the OG #1 member that I have. I put a request or a plea, however you want to talk about it, in a couple of videos ago, just saying, hey, it's $2.99 for a membership. Consider joining if you would like to support me. I had a very interesting comment, or 2 comments, from one viewer. Don't think I'm going to be getting him as a member anytime soon. This is what he said. Viewer ATAVAE1 states, I don't know exactly what, something I said must have been interesting. And his response is, it may be interesting, but you are not. Goodbye. So, he doesn't find me interesting, which is totally okay. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. He then follows that up and says, just $2.99. That is what my congressman said, and now it's several $million. I don't have any idea how we can compare my membership fees to congressional spending. But nowadays people will equate anything to politics. But thank you for commenting. It helps with my engagement score, so I appreciate that. First item that sold for me, it sold on Mercari. And I had these listed. They were just kind of a throw-in. They are, when I say throw-in, I mean what I really bought this for was the Ninja blender. I paid $20 for a Ninja blender. And then it had 4 of these things as well. So these are Nutra Ninja, it's hard to say, cups and a blade right here. I don't remember exactly what I considered myself paying for these. Something in the neighborhood of $2 to $4. And this sold for $30 free shipping on Mercari. Mercari has 10% fees, so I earned $27 after fees. It'll probably be around $10 or $11 to ship these. So we're looking at about $16 after shipping, minus the 4, let's say. So let's say 12 bucks. Not too bad for just a throw-in on something that I really wasn't buying to begin with. So that's nice. That's my second Mercari order, like I mentioned. I also have 2 Poshmark orders. Both of them are bags, which I guess is just pure coincidence, but it's kind of funny that they both happen to be bags, and they both happen to be stored on the same shelf. The first one is an Osprey laptop messenger bag that I've had for way too long, in my opinion. Osprey is a really good brand of a backpack, especially, but they also have a lot of other bags. This is the Astro model. Picked this up for $8 at my favorite thrift store. Like I said, it took a long time to sell, so I'm not recommending running out and buying another one. I did sell it for $29 plus shipping, so good, decent profit. Just took way longer than I thought. And then the other bag that I sold is a Lug brand. This is a good brand. I like this brand a lot. I would consider it a Bolo brand. They sell everything from, well, mostly what I've seen are lunch boxes, but I know they sell a lot more other things. I think they sell purses, wallets. This is an overnight bag or a travel bag. It's called the Lug Puddle Jumper. Just this nice gray bag. Not in or in good condition. Picked this up for $8. Same place at my favorite thrift store, and that sold for $31 plus shipping. And that one sold much quicker, probably 2 weeks or so. So very quick sale, very quick turnaround on that. So Lug, that's the logo on it. Be on the lookout for this one. That's a good pickup. Okay, so I'm beating this topic with a dead horse, but I think there's just a lot of misinformation out there, at least in my opinion. Again, a while back, released a video about how I kind of got raked over the coals for not shipping items immediately. There's a lot of resellers out there that have commented on previous videos that say that I should be shipping my items either same day or at the worst case scenario the next day. And we're talking about next day, not just next business day. They're talking about next day, even if it's on a weekend. So they think that if I sell something on a Friday, if I'm not going to ship it out on a Friday, I need to be shipping it out on Saturday. And there's some passionate people about this. I've had a couple people that have told me that I have no business being a reseller if I am not going to follow that kind of a shipping schedule. In a follow-up video, I wanted to get more clarification because I only had 2 or 3 comments initially on my first video. So on my second video, I had quite a few more comments. And let's go over some of those because, again, that's the impetus for me releasing a third video on the same topic. So the second video I'm talking about is called, I titled it, I Was Called Out for Being a Terrible Reseller. And I posted some of the screenshots of the comments in there. And I will say there were a couple of people that were much gentler in their responses. Sebastian Millen says, I have a very flexible schedule, and given that fact, I make a trip to the post office every day to ship orders. He says, getting them out as fast as possible tends to build goodwill and strengthens brand business reputation. I think it's an opinion, but also very factual. It certainly builds goodwill, strengthens your reputation, and it's never going to be a bad thing to ship orders quickly. I had another person say, geez, it's your business. You do you. I personally don't trust USPS, even though my local post office is very efficient, so I ship every other day. She says, all right, so let's go to the comments that were in disagreement with me. Here's a secondhand media man. He says, I sell $100,000 a year in physical media. There's almost no excuse to not have orders packaged and shipped same or next day. I explain that and a myriad of other things in my channel. Maybe he just wants to advertise for people to come over and watch him instead of me. I don't know. I had somebody else, CJSPENO, say same day shipping or ASAP always. Daryl Sharp says, I ship the day after payment if at all possible, but that's just me. And then lastly, Xander C. And this comment specifically is the reason for me making this video today. He says, as soon as I get an order, I pack it up and head over to the post office the same day because I am putting myself in the customer's shoes. Do I want that item ASAP or in days? Well, Xander, there's absolutely nothing wrong with what you do. In fact, I commend you 100% for having that sort of dedication that you say, as soon as you get an order, you pack it up and head over to the post office the same day. I don't always have that flexibility, and I don't think all resellers have that flexibility. Some people do, this is coming from a person who works from home, but I have responsibilities to that day job that I can't just drop everything, and I can't ship orders the same day that they're made. It's just not a reality for me. But I also question your notion that as a customer, wouldn't I want the same thing? And I'm going to say maybe if I'm buying from Amazon, sure. But I certainly don't expect a mom and pop business, Joe Schmo down the lane, or other resellers like me to drop everything because I decide I want to place an order for their item. I don't expect them to ship it any faster than what they say they're going to ship it in. So if based off of whatever parameters they have put into eBay, it'll give you an estimate on when that item should arrive. And I don't expect it, certainly don't expect it, to get there any sooner than what is listed. If it does, that's great, but I almost don't. I would feel bad if the expectation was for them to drop their normal lives to make sure that I get my tchotchke, my knick-knack, my pair of shoes out the door as quickly as possible to me. I don't expect that at all when I am dealing with a small business, Main Street USA, mom and pop business, kind of like I feel most of eBay is. I know there are definitely big corporations that sell on eBay. I'm talking about most of the people like us that are part-time, even full-time resellers. So I want to push back on this notion that we should be expecting that kind of service when it comes to when we're placing orders and putting ourselves in the shoes of the customer. With all this being said, me having this attitude where sometimes I wait, in the case of the original order that prompted this whole slew of videos that I've filmed, I waited 5 days from the time that order was placed until I shipped it. Sometimes I'll wait 4 days. Sometimes I'll wait 3 days. Sometimes I'll ship them out the same business day. But the vast majority of the time, due to my personal work schedule, my personal life, being a husband and father and wanting to do my own things in life, on top of the fact that I have a filming schedule for this YouTube channel, I rarely do same day or even next day orders. So with all that being said, I must have a pretty bad score on eBay when it comes to those customer service metrics, right? My feedback probably is going to say nothing about my shipping speed. There actually is a shipping speed metric that buyers can rate you on out of 5 stars. Well, for me, that must be horrible, right? Because all these other resellers are talking about how they ship them out ASAP that same day most of the time, and I don't. Sometimes I wait 5 days later. So their scores compared to mine must be significantly better. Well, let's take a look. What do the metrics say? So for those of you that don't know, if you go to your eBay, my eBay profile, and you click on the Seller Hub section and then your feedback, I'll specifically show you what it is that I'm talking about so you know that I'm not just making this up. But here we go, PDX Picker 11. My feedback score is 1148. My positive feedback in the last 12 months is 99.8%. So let's just look at some of the most recent shipping. Fast shipping. Speedy shipment, thanks. Good deal and fast shipping. Fast delivery. Fast delivery. Item is described, very satisfied. Thank you so much. Fast shipping. Item is as described. Item is as described. Thank you. Seller mailed the item in a timely manner. The rest of it is actually talking about the item itself, not me or the shipping. Item as described, quick shipping. Smooth transaction, quick shipping. Quick shipping item, very nice, thank you. I didn't cherry pick. Those are literally my last 15 to 20, however many there are on here, feedback, reviews and feedback that I received as the seller. I can't make those things up. And on top of that, so let's talk about the shipping speed. Right here we have detailed seller ratings, accurate description, reasonable shipping cost, communication, shipping speed. Out of 365 ratings, my average rating is 5 out of 5. So for the people that took the time to rate this, I have a 100% rating when it comes to shipping speed. So again, I'm not saying this, I'm not bringing this up to dispute or say that those other people are wrong for doing what they are doing. If you can ship the same day or the day after, that's great. I think that's awesome, and if I could, I would definitely do that. That's why today, all these orders came in either after 3 p.m. yesterday or today. So the orders that I'm pulling today are, in essence, almost same day or day of orders. But I am specifically dropping everything because I know that I'm not going to be able to most likely ship orders the next 2 days. So I'm not saying it's wrong to do that, but what I am saying is I think we need to change our expectations for what the customer expects. We need to change our beliefs for what the customer thinks that we should be doing. As I mentioned, I don't drop everything and ship my items and almost all of my customers are totally fine with that. In fact, they praise me for fast shipments, speedy shipping, and I have a 100% shipping speed score. Am I going to please every single customer? No, and that's, again, what brought up this whole piece was the person that bought that item from me a couple weeks ago, and I waited 5 days to ship it. They were upset by that, and that's fine. Like I said, you're not going to please everyone, but far and away, I please the vast majority of people, to the point where you would have no idea, looking at my feedback, that I don't ship things as quickly as I possibly can. That I don't drop my entire outside eBay life to focus on shipping things on eBay. My feedback does not say that. So maybe for those of you out here that are saying over and over and over again that not only should I not be a reseller, but that I'm doing it wrong and there's no excuse for not doing it the way that you're doing it, and the way that I'm doing it is bad, bad, bad. The metrics don't say that, so maybe consider changing the way that you're thinking about things. All right, let's go and pull the rest of the orders. 5 more items are going to be pulled, so that's 8 total items that I've sold in the last day, which is pretty good for a middle of the week sales day, I would say. Next item that sold, I'll look this up. All right, so the first item is another pair of Levi's 501s. I think this might be the last pair that I have, because I feel like I haven't sourced any of these in quite some time. But just a reminder, I love to source cheap Levi's 501s, $4 and less, let's say. These I bought for $2. Nothing spectacular. You're not going to make a ton of money on them unless they're super vintage, but they always sell relatively quickly. These sold in just a couple of weeks for $16 plus shipping. I took an offer on them. These also semi have condition issues. The crotch has some holes in them, but people still will buy them. So Levi's 501s, yes, there are 130,000 of them listed, but there's like 70,000 that have sold. So if you can buy them for cheap, there's no reason. I mean, you're essentially turning down money by not buying them. Next item that sold, I think this might be the best selling item of the day, which it's not super great, but it's not bad. It's this right here. This is a model kit from something called AC Models. Originally had a $99.95 price tag on it. So I bought these for $3.99 at my thrift store. You see the soldiers on top of that vehicle? That's what is in here, are just those soldiers. And that's sold for $59.46 plus shipping. So these model kits, people spend a lot of money on these. They love the realism of it. They get to paint them and set up their own huge scale models of wars. I think this is something from, it says it's WMIK or 1K from Afghanistan. So I don't know what time period that is, but anyway, those are great items to pick up. I don't come across them very easy, but they can be very valuable, and that's the 4th or 5th one I've sold. I think I spent $16 on everything, and I'm probably in the $200-ish range of the items that I've sold, with another $100 left. For those of you that don't know, Roughwear is a very good brand to resell from a pet perspective, pet supply perspective. This is technically the second time I have sold this. The first time, though, the buyer canceled the order before I shipped it because they realized this was a size extra small and they wanted a small. But right here, this is a Roughwear harness. That's the logo right there, that yellow on here. They all have specific names. This is the front range harness. And I actually just bought another one of these new that I haven't listed yet. This one I paid $12.99 for, which is more than I would want to, but new like this, these sell for $40. That used one sold for $20.95, and I paid $3.99 for it. It just took maybe 2 months to sell. That one should sell in about 2 weeks. So that's the benefit to paying a little bit more, but buying something new for resale. Speaking of Snap-on, I just sold another Snap-on item semi-recently. And so this is I guess in theory the third Snap-on item that I have sold, because I sold a wrench that was Blue Point by Snap-on, a tiny little adjustable wrench. I got this fishing lure that was in the same bin. I couldn't get it back in there. But anyway, that Blue Point by Snap-on wrench sold for like, I don't know, 25 bucks. This is a little ratchet, tiny little ratchet, and then an extension as well. Let me pull up a picture of it. That's what it looks like right there. Just a small 1/4 inch drive ratchet and a 2-inch extension. Picked those up in a little set that I bought for $2. The set I'm just donating, so essentially paid $2 for those, and that sold for $33.99, free shipping. So, you know, $5 to ship it, so basically $29 or so. Took a little bit longer to sell than I thought. The ratchet itself sells quite quickly. I could have separated them out, sold the extension for $15 and the ratchet for $25, but I thought combining them, maybe I'd get a little bit faster sale. I didn't, but it's okay. Last item of the day, the coolest item, I think, in terms of what I sold today. Apparently I put this in B for Blazers, even though I have another Blazers item under P for Portland. Right here, this is a vintage Logo 7. Can you see that down there? That Logo 7. Well, in here is a better version of it. Right there is that Logo 7 logo. This is from the 90s. It's got that cool Blazers pinwheel logo. For those of you that are into reselling sports clothing, Logo 7 is a very good brand. I believe most of it was from the, I almost said 70s, from the 90s. This I paid $9.99 for. It's not in good condition. There are quite a few, there's some fading, there's some staining, but these don't come up very often. So I went ahead and bought that, knowing it wasn't going to sell for a ton, but it should sell quickly, and it did. It sold for $30 plus shipping in about 2 weeks or so. Probably not even that long, more like a week. So that's going to do it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Please like it if you did. Subscribe to my channel to get more content like this in the future. I'm pretty sure this is going to be my final video on this topic. But anyway, good luck with your reselling ventures out there. We'll catch you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.